Good deal. Hey everyone, my name is John, staff software engineer with about a dozen years of experience. I'm the lead maintainer of the open source software engineer career development platform Latterly.io, where you can learn to code and land your first or next programming role and grow your social and professional networks. So I recently merged a big PR, and big PRs take time. Okay, this was, what was this? Journal email reminders, pretty big. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, but basically, I wanted to take this opportunity before I go for my next PR. So here's two more big PRs. And basically, I'm big PR'd out. Like, I want to take a break from big stuff and do some small stuff. And so I collected these 5 small PRs that I'm going to try to clean up before resuming these next big 2. And then once these 2 get in, I'll cut a major release. So here's some small ones. We want to make the header sticky. Okay, so currently if you scroll down, you lose that header, but oh no, I wanted all my clickies. I wanted my clickies, bro. So let's make it sticky, okay? This page, I don't like the top padding, particularly on mobile. It's like bad real estate, bad UX. So I want to move that stuff up. That's all I want to do for now. In the future, maybe I'll put more content on the page. By moving that content up, we can potentially move more stuff on the page. I don't want to do that right now. I don't want to think about what to put there. I just want to move it up, literally so the user's eyes don't have to move down. It's just there. It's just like a small thing, you know? Checklist access. There's like a problem accessing checklists, okay? That's probably the most complicated one we're going to do. These others are pretty simple. Copilot access. This might just be a database issue, but I should be able to see this. With my own account, I cannot see this. So either there's an authentication issue, or I need to update my permission in the database. I might have changed something to my own permissions and forgotten about it. So that should be pretty small either way. If we do need to change the authentication, that's actually not complicated because the framework is handling a lot of the legwork there. Okay. And the leak code tool. So I have this leak code tool. It's pretty cool. But I want to make it better. Sign up or log in. Let's log in. Okay, cool. One of the ways that, I can't click this. I should be able to click this and it should pop open the problem. And then also, I want to be able to search them. I was looking for, I think it was 3-sum closest. I was trying to find it and I couldn't find it the other day. And I have to scroll to the bottom and hit these overs, which is lame. I want to be able to just search, and I want to be able to filter by pattern. So maybe I just want to practice binary search. Currently, that's a total pain. I have to know ahead of time which problems are binary search. Okay. Those are the things. I think that's everything. So let's dive in. So sticky header, start with this, 533. Open up cursor. Here I'm on a Windows machine, that's fine. And I want to cd into the Latterly repository. I'm going to switch over to git bash. I don't like PowerShell. Git fetch origin main. I'll make a feature branch. And this was this one about the sticky header? I think sticky header. Okay. So I fetched origin main and now I'll reset hard on origin main. Okay, we're focusing on the Latterly repository. And let's go find where's this nav bar. So I will inspect. And I'll look for this somewhat unique cluster of classes. And then we can also look for that mobile menu. That'll help us out as well. Control-Shift-F, Control-V, Enter. Nobody finds it. Okay, let's look for the mobile menu instead. I guess some of those classes are conditional, so that's why they're not showing up. Okay, because it's using a variable. All right, so here is the top nav. That's what we're looking for. And I think it's the same component. I think it's just this whole top nav. What about top nav flex container? Has a bunch of classes on here. Cool, I think we're gonna just change, let me change the color. Light purple, let's go light red, just to make sure that's the one. And I'll npm run start. Could not find a production, okay, npm run dev. We're not gonna do the static build. We'll just do the dev server. Okay, so now I'm on localhost, and well, this red is not, anyway, this is fine. This means I impacted this thing. You see, I marked it laterally light red 2, but that doesn't exist, so it's defaulting to white. I could say, I think if I get rid of the laterally word, if I just say bg red 200, now I'll actually get a color in there. Yeah. Okay, so that's the one that we want to make static, or sticky, sorry. So here, I'm going to ask cursor to do this for me. I'm going to say, let's make the top nav sticky. I think we should update the class name of top nav flex container. So notice that I'm using tentative language. I think we should. I'm not like forcing it to do an action because I want to give the language model more agency, and I want it to feel free that it can push back if it needs to. But it's basically agreed. It's basically agreed. And now it's sticky, but it's transparent, which I'm not crazy about. That may have been a pre-existing style. So here I will stage this change. It's now sticky, but somewhat transparent. Let it be, let's remove transparency.
Oh, you put me wrong.
I think that may have pre-existed. Hey.
Hi. I'm gonna head out.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you.
I'm practicing and I'm teaching a private.
Okay.
Okay.
See how many while that's cooking, let's see how many signups we have at Laterally. So the language models are great, but waiting around for them to complete is kind of boring on a stream, I'm noticing. 643, that's cool. So I need to get better at filling up dead time. I feel this is like a radio show host skill that some people have that I just haven't worked on. Like the ability to come up with interesting things to fill this like wait time. I don't know, let me know chat if you have concepts. So here, we drop, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this. Let's go. I want it to be RGBA for consistency. But I like that it, so I'm gonna reject that. I like that it basically highlighted what I should be looking for here. So I'll just change the alpha level. So it's RGBA, A is alpha, alpha is transparency or opacity. So I'll just change that down to 0. Maybe I'll even make it 0, whatever, 0 or 0.0, it doesn't really matter. I'll go 0.0 just to keep it consistent as a float. Or like a decimal place fraction, those are all synonyms. Now here I'm effectively changing the color, which is also not my intent. So what I'd rather do is make a laterally light purple 0. So I'll make a new class, because what I'm noticing is that the custom colors, these are custom CSS Tailwind classes, and the alpha is incrementing 05, 15, 3, 4, 5, right? So let's put this back to how it was. So we're not going to change that existing class. We'll just add a new class. This is less destructive, less risky. So this is going to be a safer change. And I'll call it laterally light purple 0. So this is a more compatible, less risky change. And then over here, I will make sure to use it. So here on the top nav, we have the laterally light purple 5, that's fine. That's for the border. Light, this is for the background, we see. Light purple 2, and I'll make that light purple 0. I need to unstage it to make the file editable again. It's still not editable, that's annoying. That's just an IDE thing. -2. Okay. Do you want to save? Cancel. I think I fat fingered it. Okay, so let's take a look at it now. No, we still have some opacity. Oh, I might have just upped the opacity. Laterally light violet. Where's that purple 2? Is the purple 2 not effective? Laterally text. This is for the text. Yeah, okay, so that shouldn't matter. BG laterally light purple 0. Did I have a typo or something? Okay, so here's the purple 2, right? We can see it's effective. I can toggle it on and off. Now if I swap it to 0, it's perfectly transparent. Okay, so I took the opacity to 0.0. What I should have done is go 1.0. All right, now we can see why I don't want to do that. Because it renders the text invisible. Cool, because that's already using that Violet 700. So really, I want to cross it with white instead of making it transparent. Yeah. I think that's the intent, is effectively to lighten it up. The intent of is to lighten the RGB shade of I think a better way to do this is to multiply by white at 50%. Create a new class which does this. Let's see, white would be 255 across the board. We could also just go halfway, we could do the math ourselves. Okay, so background, RGB, A. The A doesn't really matter here. RGB, Cool, okay, so this is the original shade. and they go up to 255, so we just do the math ourselves. So plus 2, whoa. What happened? It was a reload. Okay. Let's just do the math anyway. So 102 so 357 over 2. 179. Yeah, it got the right math. So 179. Cool, so it did the right thing. So basically we whited it up. We whited it up. But I want to go lighter. So now I've got that solid fill, right? But I want to go lighter so that the text would be more readable. So I will just take even increments of... I can just take even increments of 10 even. That's going to end up graying it up because 10 across the board is a gray shade. That's okay, we'll go for that. So I'm going to add 30 in each case. Okay, let's see how this looks. What's this color back here? What I don't like about this is that I'm basically inventing a new color, and I want to stick with my existing theme. Do I not already have like a light, yeah, like an off-white? Let's go for the, oh, because it's using transparency once again. All right, I'm gonna do it, y'all. I'm going to destructively mutate the existing transparent approach. So this is like a 5% color. But I'm going to do this with a non-transparent approach. Let's pick the equivalent of, which is 5% white, or 5% colored. So let's use a 95% white shade mix of this one. All right, so we'll see who can do the math faster, but basically it's going to be the same concept. And what would I do? Just .95 times 102? And the difference from that, okay. And the difference from that in 255. All right, so here's the destructive. See, I'm trying to reconcile why I originally did that. The reason I originally did that is so that I could see that they are shades of this. Is there a utility I can use to show the developer instead of making the calculation statically? I think that this does exist. think I may need to install a library. Yeah, here we go. But I don't know. I want this to be in the runtime. So should I HD or no? Will it still build and deploy to prod? Okay, cool. All right, no problem. So let me copy this. This is cool. I like this. It'll improve the readability of the code. And there's no loss of performance since it's a build time change. Okay, so we have the light purple. These light purples all go together. And what I wanted to show is that these are actually all three the same. So you're a color mix. Oh, nice. I can even reference it by name. Okay, so you are a color mix of laterally violet 700 at 5% and then white at 95%. And that is the laterally light purple 1. And that's actually the same intent as the laterally off-white. Cool. So this just becomes an alias down there. Looks good to me. And then that should be these three should also be equivalent, by the way. So instead of RGBA, we want to make that the color mix on white. And this should be an alias. So laterally light purple 1 is also an alias. Laterally light purple 1 is an alias for laterally violet 100. Cool. So now my colors are more aligned. So I'm getting that non-opaque effect that I want without inventing a new color with a different CSS signature. So they're still, the website is still self-aligned. Cannot read. What is this? Let me try to restart the server. Yeah, so this change created some issue. Good thing we're testing it. The color mix function needs to look up the value of laterally violet 700. Okay, I'm fine with that. This is being repeated. What we coding today? First, we are making this top nav sticky, and then we got to remove some padding. Then we're going to fix the access on this Copilot page and enhance the LeetCode tool with filter and search, and then fix checklist access as well. Okay, so we'll pre-compute both of them. And that is bad. MXM, thanks for the like. Okay, so now we're reinserting it and using a CSS variable approach. Interesting. Let's see if it works. Here I'm going to have it reach out to the web. What I think it should be doing is using a theme function and then chaining that function. I'll write a simple tint function that can mix a color with white. Oh, mercy. This seems totally unnecessary. No, a custom. So it wants to uninstall the color mix now. Why? No, instead of saying it's totally unnecessary, I will say seems unnecessary. Let's try to use the library one more time. And if it fails, we can make our own later. For this last attempt, what do you think about? So again, notice that I'm prompting with tentative language and questions, because I want to preserve the possibility that this is a bad idea and the language model can push back. I also want the language model to buy into what I'm saying instead of falling into an argumentative mode. Wow, Gemini 2.5 Pro is really thinking a lot on this. It's making me want to switch over to GPT-5. Let's look at the LM Arena. Where's the leaderboard? Show me the scores, homie. Is 5 on top? 5's on top now, right? So 5 is beating 2.5 Pro. 2.5 Pro has been my favorite for months. Really since like February, I think, when it came out. Basically since I started using it. But what are the confidence intervals? So it's 481 it's 1481 to 1460, but what are the confidence intervals? It used to show me that. And an even wider margin on web development. Interesting. Because this is about 1/10 of the votes over here. So these seem fairly close, but over here, it doesn't seem close anymore. It doesn't seem close anymore because the margin's wider and the votes are proportionally closer. So after this user story, I will switch over to GPT-5 and we'll see how that goes. You have a great intuition for this. The idea of chaining resolution instead of everything in one go is the key insight. Your suggestion led me to reconsider how the plugin might be designed to work. It's likely intended to resolve color names during the build process rather than requiring raw color values up front. Bro, this is not what I suggested, bro. Okay, so he's saying that I can go ahead and reject this guy. Boop. Okay. The issue is still occurring with npm run dev. I guess we can make our own utility now if you want. You don't seem to understand how the library works. Here's the web tool if you want to check one more time before refactoring to our own utility. So I gave it the web tool before, but apparently it didn't look up the answer to that question. It looked up the answer to some other question, maybe like a usage example. Okay, so we can see that it's grabbing stuff related to Tailwind. It's not grabbing anything related to... Dude, it's not grabbing anything related to the library. This is actually making me irritated. I'm going to be really explicit this time. I am giving you access to the web tool so you can better understand the color mix rather than, so that you can, okay. Please search appropriately this time. Okay, so if this fails, I'll agree to remove the utility if this still fails. Classic tailwind, something that should be easy ends up being complicated, eh? Okay. It doesn't generate new static colors. It provides a utility class that you can use in the HTML. We need to use the native CSS color mix function directly. Yeah, that sounds good anyway. Why did it downgrade my ESLint? You little stinker, dude. Look, it was a 009. It was an unstable library anyway. I'm glad to be rid of it. Now, why has it modified TextLink Fancy? I'm not sure. It looks like it just sorted the applicators. Relative PB05. Yeah, that's fine. It just sorted them. Ease in, out. Yeah, that's fine. Now it is doing a poor job of cleaning up things that it wishes to be deleted. That's fine. The current stream is not about evaluating Gemini. We know it's imperfect. Oh, there it goes. It was going to do that anyway. So that's on me. I just missed it. Nope, the class is not operating properly. So here we have light purple 0. I think it's because I deleted that name, right? Yeah, so now we should call it light purple 1. Laterally light purple 1. Is color mix in sRGB. That's, I'm not familiar with that syntax. So we're compiling fine, but the color is not utilized. So this color is utilized, violet 700. So this is being utilized in this class, laterally violet 700. But it's not being utilized in the laterally light purple. Pros, and look at this. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's from 7 months ago. So this thing is not working. Does not work. There is no compile error, but the rendered style is transparent with no color at all. And there is no CSS rule for this mentioned in Chrome DevTools style panel. Let me confirm that. I think that's the case. Oh, here it is. It actually is mentioned. So if I change it to red, okay, it works. So this simply doesn't work. Simply doesn't work. Chrome DevTools style panel mentions, but the rendered color is transparent. It seems color mix isn't working as expected. So the model thinks it is because this var expression is illegal. And that seems right. If we change it to red, it will mix. Yeah, that seems right. Okay. I think we made it, y'all. Hey, this was a technique I didn't know about. Awesome. Yes, and it is an off-white, light purple, and we have that variable working through. That's actually sick. Even though this was a whole lot of lameness, I'm glad we did this, because now I know a new technique. So I can use the CSS variable and I can mix it into Tailwind. So I can natively tint without any extra JavaScript, which is pretty sick, not gonna lie. I'm not the CSS nerd I once was, but that is pretty cool. Just doing a once over to make sure it didn't regress anything. The Violet 700 is looking good. And then we have 5% white, 5% white. See, I think these are not correct. Violet 100, purple 1, okay. That's fine. They're aliases. It's not my preferred way to write an alias because it's just duplicating the code, but I don't want to argue with it at this point. So, why not? I'm happy enough. Feet, sticky header. That's actually going to be a style commit, sticky header. Let's publish the branch. Okay. Closes 5:33. All right. Next, we're on to 5:39. RM top mobile padding. You know, a lot of these tasks are pretty simple. We're just going to remove some top padding. But getting people to contribute them, I kind of intentionally make easy issues sometimes to try to encourage contributions, and it doesn't work. It's crazy. Like, it hasn't worked. Paying, even hard tasks, paying someone 30, 40, 50 bucks, they'll do a hard task. So that works. So paying a little bit of money can go a long way. But trying to encourage like free open source contribution has been really difficult. And you would think that like making easier tasks, more people would opt in, but it hasn't been like that. People have just sort of opted into whatever they think is interesting, even if it's not the easiest task. The few people who have been interested in contributing. Okay, so here we are. Let's verify it works. We got a preview environment. Boom, we're sticking. Let's go over to the FAQ page. Looks good. We're sticking and go over to the blog. And we're sticking. Oh, here's some, yeah, that's supposed to be like that. Good. Good. Resume. And we're sticking. I think it looks good, y'all. So we'll merge it. Now 533 is closed. I want to get this number under 120. I'm so stoked for this. You don't even know. Okay, so now we're going to get fetch origin main now that the merge is done. I can get branch. I'm on the new one. Get reset hard origin main. And if I check my log, -1, it's that sticky header. Is C++ a language to start learning on? Hell no. That's one of the worst languages you can start with. C++ is a brutal language. JavaScript, dude, go to the Latterly website. You could start with Python, but I prefer JavaScript. There's more job opportunities. Okay, so Latterly. Here's the blog. Building a quality portfolio. Building a quality portfolio. Maybe I should rename it because it's like how to get started coding. Let's rename it. Intro to coding, intro to code, and yeah. We'll call it Intro to Code and. Is that better? Is that a better name? What do you think, chat? So I'm on this RM mobile padding branch. Whatever, we'll commit it here. Clear article name. C++ is going to be an awful way to start. Really bad way to start. Okay, npm run dev. Now we got localhost going. Okay. So to remove the top padding, it's going to be on these mobile pages. I'm going to go to the sitemap as well. So we have the technical prep So here's an example of one of the pages that has this top padding. I think it looks great on desktop. So we're on desktop right now. It's looking good, right? But when you go mobile, boom, that top padding should drop, and it doesn't. And it looks okay when it's mobile version on desktop because you have kind of balanced top and bottom padding. But if I pull it up on my phone, it don't look like that. It don't look like that. So it's uneven. So there's a big gap at the top and there's not a gap at the bottom. So latterly.io sign up technical prep. Let's see if I can bring this up for you. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on my phone. Latterly.io / sign up. Well-being is not found. Is that right? Yeah, I renamed it to Research Back, didn't I? I renamed it. Okay. So this is wellness. And it says I'm already logged in. So I have a slightly different view. Let me give you the logged out view. Log out on my phone. Yeah, wait, there is no top padding. Did I already solve this? Here's what it looks like on my phone when I'm logged out. Can you see that? That actually looks kind of good. It looks kind of good. So how did I take this screenshot? Did I just fix it without noticing or something? No, I do have, okay, so when I'm signed in, there is this top padding. I guess it's like a flex type of situation. So when the login form is there, it fills it up. Okay, and then let me look at it on Safari. Maybe that's looking worse over there or something. No, it looks good to me in Safari. Okay, so it's specifically if I'm already logged in. Okay, and that can be annoying because it says you're already logged in, go to the dashboard at the bottom, and if that card's getting cut off below the fold, then the user doesn't see it, which is a bummer. So I'll still be aligned that here, yeah, and it's a flex situation, right? Here. Maybe this is the one we want to modify. It's going to be one of these two layers, the main or the div. I think probably the div. That on mobile specifically, I want to pop it up top. I'm still aligned. Still aligned to that. Okay, so here's the sign up page wrapper. Oh, why is this different? This should be on all the landing pages. Sign up page wrapper. Here is the sign up wellness. Okay. Okay. Here is the sign up tech prep. Good. Here's the sign up research back. Okay. So they're just using the same utility. Sign up interview prep. Yeah. So this is the sign up page wrapper. Yeah, that's good. So there's one place we need to update it. It's one of these two layers. I'm not sure. So I'll tell cursor, I could start a new chain of thought, but here I'll just tell it new issue. I would like the top padding removed from my, really from the card. Really, it's from the card, right? So we kind of, is it main or is it div? We're kind of answering it. And it's not even padding technically. It's that I want it to float top. So we'll call this ID. Giving it an ID actually makes it easier to prompt sometimes. So I'll call this it wants to say sign up page wrapper. I don't know. I want to call it some sort of card. Sign up page card. Okay. I would like the sign up page card to float top on mobile. One rem of top. Even one rem is too much, right? Like some slight top padding. Oh, it already has P4, so I think an MT4. Some slight top margin like MT4 is fine, but it shouldn't have more than that on mobile. Let desktop remain centered as it is. So I'm staging what I already have so I can easily see the diff. Ghostmain, I'd say start easy with building websites. Yeah, that's the same thing that I said. What are we building? We are getting rid of that top padding right now. I think I've pretty much explained that, right? I don't know exactly when you joined. But this, on mobile specifically, this top bit, I want it to float up. And then I want desktop to remain as it is. I think it looks good on desktop. That's what we're doing for now, and then we'll do some other issues like fixing Copilot access and doing some other stuff. Founder app, thanks for the follow. Oof, multi-stream. There's one person outside of TikTok. There's some people on TikTok, but I don't know where the other person's from. Say hi wherever you're from. Okay, so here's what it proposes to do. Let me go ahead and accept, and then I'll read what it proposes to do. Accept. Okay, so what it proposes to do is alter the main for MD item center. So it will be centering only on medium, which is like tablet size and larger. So that's good. So it won't center on mobile phone, which is precisely what we want. And then it's adding this MT4. But it's giving it a permanent MT4. Shouldn't we have an MD? Yeah, shouldn't we condition the MT4? So I like the code change, but I'm asking the follow-up question. Again, not bossing the language model around, just using probing exploratory questions. Just like I was talking to a person. And it agreed with me. Just like, see, sometimes if you ask the right question, you'll build alignment instead of antagonism, whether it's with a language model or a human. Okay, so here, this is prod. I don't want to look at prod. Okay, we can go to the research-backed sales page. Boom. Now I want to switch over to localhost. I want to drop the dubs. Drop the dubs. What are we doing here? Okay. All right, so desktop looking good, no regression, great. Here on mobile, it's nicer. It's nicer. Maybe I should get rid of that MT4 actually. So I can, that create account button is truncated. Well, it's going to be truncated anyway. It's going to be truncated anyway. So it will be to do with this sign up form. I would have to modify the interior of the sign up form, which I'm not crazy about doing. Okay, so I'll let it be truncated. Now, in this case, notice I'm logged out. So I want to check the logged in case. Founder app, thanks for the follow. Okay, so now I'm logged in. Boom, I got that sticky header on mobile as well. It looks great. And where do I want to go? I want to go back to this like sales page thing. And it says I'm already logged in. So the weird thing here is the bottom of that card keeps extending. Does the MT4 give me any advantage? No. I think we drop the MT4, it's still fine. So I don't think we need that bit at all. That'll be a slight improvement. We don't need that bit at all. So really I'm planning to retain all of the original class names. Now, do I want to drop this bottom padding? I don't actually care. It's just over large. I don't really care though. So I can do a height fit content. I don't know that it looks any better though. Like, does that really look much better? For some mobile screens, this will appear cut off and this will not appear cut off. I think that's pretty much the only difference, eh? Yeah, to me, it's not worth doing. It's not worth even spending time on. Maybe there's some like amazing designer who would spend the time on it, but I just don't care enough. Okay, so the main thing that I want to do is done then, and that main thing is to condition the item centering on medium. Okay, so style, conditional vert center on medium only. So this will close 539. Now somehow I want to get this preview on my phone. I'll drop it on Discord where I can click it on my phone. That makes sense, right? Okay, so I'm looking at it. I'm going to go /signup research backed. Yeah, it looks how I want when I'm not logged in. Okay, so let me log in. Okay. Now that I'm logged in, yeah, I think it looks good. It is a little bit weird that that card keeps going, but I don't care. The top padding is gone, which was the big deal. Let's not scope creep ourselves, right? Focus on the task, and that task is solved. So let's merge it. Done, 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 done. What are we at now? Copilot access. So check this. Oh, I can access it. Who am I logged in as? I think I have 2 different accounts. Okay, so if I log in this way, that one doesn't work. Okay. If I log in this way. Okay. So now I can go to Grow Copilot, and I can see it when I log in that way. Okay, I've just got to remember, I have like a few different accounts. Wait, it says log in right now. That was weird. That was weird. Okay, now it's blocking me properly. But now let's log in with Google. I'll do it this way. And I can see it. I can see it fine. So I do have access. What this means is either when I was locked out, either I was logged into an account without the permission, or I had some like temporary authentication issue. Let me make sure it's not just on my phone. And again, I'll use Safari, because don't we know, if you have a problem anywhere, it's going to be on Safari, won't it? Won't it? Can I get an amen in the chat from my front-end developers that know? Okay, so I'm logged in, and I want to go to the Grow Copilot. No, it's working just fine. Grow, maybe it's not the Copilot. What was the other one? That's the only one. Okay, so this issue seems solved or didn't exist in the first place. All right, works for me. Seems like it's working fine. Maybe I logged in to one of my weaker term accounts. Good, easy. We love an easy fix. Now, LeetCode tool, filter by pattern in text search. This is fun. So here's the leak code list. And the leak code list component is used on the leak code tool page. Okay? New problem. I want to be able to search leak code problems. Let's see, I want to break up these requirements. I want to enhance the leak code page in 3 ways. 1, as a user, I should be able to click a leak code problem name in the list view, and the leak code URL should be opened in a new web tab. 2, I should be able to search for a leak code problem by name using a text field at the top of the page. And 3, I should be able to pick a pattern name from a drop-down and see a filtered view of just those problems matching my filter. 1, 2. Okay. So while it's thinking, we will be thinking. First thing we should do is we should prep the feature branch. So this is 555. So I'll call this search leak code by name. Okay. The next thing that I want to do is ensure that the leak code data in the database has the URL and the patterns on it. Now I can look on my Prisma file as well. So I'll fuzzy search laterally. This is Control P to bring up the file search. Laterally, Prisma. Here we go. And then here, I'm looking for a leak code. And I don't see it. I don't see it at all. So I'm wondering how the leak code tools are rendered at all. Is it dragged in from CSV? So here's the leak code list, and it's making a query. Oh, it's viewed as a checklist. That's right, good deal. Okay, so in the checklist, I have the leak code problems checklist. So then I want to look at the checklist items. And those checklist items need metadata, basically, if we're going to be able to solve this. So there's a link URI. Yeah, it might be a round peg, square hole situation. Where we are calling these leak code problems like a checklist when they're not really a checklist. Oh, Mag B on YouTube. Oh no, is my video frozen? I really don't like how that video be freezing. Hey, what do you recommend? I'm getting into web development and wondering what the best option to do this is, front end or back end, or just go full stack. Yeah, I recommend full stack. So again, you can see what I recommend on the blog. Blog article 2, intro to code and building a quality portfolio. So I recommend starting front end and then going full stack. It's pretty detailed. I mean, if there's any questions about it, join the Discord and let me know. It really bugs me that my camera cannot go 1 hour without freezing. All right, let's see if I can fix this. This might nuke my stream, y'all. We'll see. Am I back? I don't know. Do I look frozen to y'all? Yeah, I think I'm just like nuked the stream. So that was dumb. All right, well, thanks for being here, y'all. See you next time.